Welcome to another episode of the Grappling with Life podcast. Today I'm joined with Abdul Hannan from GrappleHub, the newly minted Jiu Jitsu club in Tower Hamlets, and Brawlers Boxing, which has been around since 2018. Abdul Hannan, welcome, bro.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Pleasure to be here. Jazakallah for inviting me.
Barakallahu fiqh, bro. Did you like the introduction, bro?
Amazing introduction.
Barakallahu fiqh, bro. So thank you very much for coming, bro. I appreciate that, bro. I've been following you for quite a while. We did obviously talk off air, and I think the first time I came across you, we kind of crossed paths at Futureversity for a little bit. And then I think after that, I started following the Brawlers Boxing movement. So I think we get started straight off the bat. For the viewers, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Abdul Hannan. I'm 31 years old. As a profession, I'm a community engagement officer for a Muslim charity. So I work in the charity sector. As a profession, also I worked as a youth worker for Tarling East Community Centre. I studied to a degree level 6, and for my boxing side, I'm a qualified boxing England coach, which was my passion for many, many years, and has been and will be, inshallah. Recently, we started the GrappleHub as a community interest club with the sole interest of bettering the community. Inshallah, we'll talk a lot more about that.
Yeah, definitely, alhamdulillah. So, talk a bit about the whole community interest company kind of element of why did you decide to open up GrappleHub as a community interest company?
So, the GrappleHub, the reason why I say community interest company is because I started the whole project with the intention of bettering the community, and the sole aspect was to bring communities together and give them a platform, especially the youngsters. As a youth worker, my interest is to enhance the growth of young people in our community, give them a platform, give them a voice, and especially the challenges that they come across with drugs, violence, antisocial behavior. A lot of the youngsters, I've seen them go off the rails, hence why the GrappleHub was started, obviously to counter that, and at the same time, allow it and make it easy for them to train. I don't know if Jiu Jitsu is a very expensive sport, and it's quite inaccessible to many people in our communities, because don't know if you know, Tower Hamlets is the 4th poorest borough in the country. So many young people don't have the opportunities than other people, you see. For example, even if a young person were to start Jiu Jitsu, by the time he explains to his parents what Jiu Jitsu is, or mum, can you buy me a gi? It will be a couple of months. Yeah. So what we've done is, obviously, for the young people is, those people who generally can't afford it, for them it's free. And I don't say that it's free to them to make them feel any less. It's just that I have a group of, a WhatsApp group with young people, and obviously my work in the community for over the last 10 years, I've built a lot of good rapport with young people around the communities. A lot of people do know me for the work I've been doing. So I've got a good rapport, alhamdulillah. Many young people do message me, and I get them involved. A, with the grappling aspect of it, and B, in the charitable sector. So it's a win-win situation. Get young people involved in charity work, deployment programs to other countries, as well as getting them interested in jiu-jitsu and grappling to improve their lifestyle, improve their health, not only that, mindset, and bring about positive change.
So that was like the mission statement, bro.
Nah. That's just the wall, bro.
That's you know, I got it. Straight off the dome, bro. But obviously, like you've been working, and I'm guessing you live in Tower Hamlets as well, right? Like what are the kind of barriers that these guys are facing, bro?
A lot of young people have been now. When I used to work in mainstream school, I worked as a learning mentor, I worked as a student manager, I worked as a assistant head of year. So alhamdulillah, I have plenty of experience in the field. From my experience, a lot of young people are having identity crisis, especially with being British, being Muslim, being Bengali, Pakistani, or whatever it is. They're confused because if they go to Bangladesh, they're too British. And when they're in this country, they don't fit in.
Not British enough.
They're not British enough.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to be too practicing. They don't want to be too backwards as well. That's
What do you mean by that?
like they don't want to be like, some people still want to have attachment, but they don't want to be seen as like too religious or stuff like that.
Why is that?
That's just the notion that what their friend's gonna think of them. You see, about fitting in. Also, there's a big influence of how good they look on social media, and even to the extent of very high number of young people committing self-harm, depression. Even I've dealt with young people who are not sure about the religion. Agnostic, they become agnostic, and they question.
Somewhere like Tower Hamlets, where there's a masjid every corner, bro.
Yeah,
almost.
You'd be surprised. Let me tell you a story. Once in my youth working days, so what I would do is when I would finish a boxing session, I would sit down the youngsters for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and that's when they all ears. They would listen to me because they're tired. And they want to listen. And
they'll shut up as well.
Yeah, so you tell them stories. So I had about 25 youngsters sat down, and I asked them a question. What's the meaning of La ilaha illallah? Only 4 or 5 people was able to answer that, the meaning of La ilaha illallah. And this is the level it is, GCSE, because it's not enforced enough, unfortunately, in our communities. A lot of people are losing faith, especially with the second generation of modern Muslims who are trying to be integrated into the community. The parents don't push them as much in deen as opposed to the mainstream studies. And the only religion that these young people have is the attachment to the masjid, or Fridays basically, attachment to the masjid. And the religion they're learning is of their friends. Many people don't associate to madrasa. Oh, my son reads the Quran once, that's enough. He needs to focus on his studies. And there's a big gap in our communities. What other issues? A lot due to poverty. Many young people are forced to make decisions they wouldn't have made, as in getting involved with the wrong crowd, selling drugs, antisocial behavior, theft, all these other stuff that's quite widespread in our communities. You see young people, they want to have the fancy clothes, they want to have designer labels. How do they get that? Because the parents are not going to buy it for them, so they'll have to hustle. And if it means doing illegal activity, or if it means doing something that will put them at risk, they're more than happy to do it to fit in. So this is a big part, from my experience in Tower Hamlets. I'm not sure about other communities.
Yeah, I mean, my experience as well working in Tower Hamlets as well, because I worked with the same demographic, bro. And I think one thing that was striking when I was working there is there's a disconnect. Yeah, so you have school, then you have your home life, then you have got they're out on the street, and also there's overcrowding. Because if you're living in like built up Tower Hamlets, you're probably living in a flat. So mom doesn't want them around in the house all day. Yeah, so on the street. I remember going to Burdett Estate, and I was taken aback, bro, because obviously you must have been to Burdett Estate, and it's like a, how do you put it, man? It's like a block. A fortress. Yeah. So it's a block, and inside there's everything in there, right? You've got the masjid, you've got the park. So a lot of them don't leave the estate. But what I realized is there's no adults.
Only youngsters.
Do you see what I'm saying? There's no adults around. It's just young people kind of governing. It was almost like, have you read that book, Lord of the Flies? We did it in secondary school. It's a book of about these kids that they're on an island. And it's a horrific story, bro. So it's like they govern themselves and they end up killing each other, and it becomes this whole, and there's no adults around. So when you go there, it kind of has that feeling. You got like 6, 7, 8-year-olds around teenagers, and they're kind of picking things up from them, and it's like this conveyor belt of crime, bro. And not everyone is involved in crime, bro, but there's like gangs, then there's gang affiliated, and then there's guys like who are around the gangs but are not involved in it, but they see what's going on. So it was crazy, and the thing is, what it was just Bengalis. It was just very like they're not exposed to other how do you put it? Other communities, people, and how other communities do it. I'll tell you a quick story. I was in Camden. There's a big community, Bengali community in Camden, and there was this like street party they did. It was not a party. It was more like they call them mellas. Yeah. So, but it wasn't that kind of mela where it was like everyone raving or whatever. It was more kind of like the masjid. Is it Cannon Street Masjid? I think it was. They held a mela. So there was this white lady, and she kind of lives there. And I was just listening to what she was talking about. So she's gone and basically tried to speak to someone. So this brother was chatting to her, and she was saying, I find that, where's the women? I go, my next door neighbor, she was going, my next door, I see her every day. She doesn't want to talk to me. And I'm thinking, how is this guy going to answer this question, bro? So, and he said something that really kind of resonated. Like, I was like, right, he kind of turned on the lights for me, bro. Because what he said was, he goes, imagine this. Imagine you couldn't speak a language. And someone said hello to you. And all you know is to say hello back. There's going to be that anxiety that person's going to want to have a conversation with you that you can't have. So what are you going to do? If you're someone who's not equipped, like, with the language, you're going to try and stay away from those kind of conversations. Bruv, it was almost as if she was like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. So she kind of went away with a different understanding of, that kind of situation. So, and I think I had that thing because I grew up in Hackney. We don't have like, it's very multicultural in the sense of like there's Turks, there's, there's
and did they
West
meet?
Indian.
Did the communities meet?
Yeah, they meet, and it's kind of if there's a Venn diagram, you kind of like, I'm not saying that like the young people don't. There's differences, obviously. When you live in a multicultural, society, there's differences in it, and there's obviously things that you don't know about completely. But yeah, there is some sort of. But like when I came into Hamness, I was like, right, this is like, subhanAllah, very, very Bengali, bro.
Yeah.
Which I didn't have a problem with that. It was just very interesting to see, like it's unique, I think unless you go up north, like in London, it's kind of unique, man. Like whichever area would you go to, which is very much like Town Hamlets, where it's predominantly one race.
What, in
London, bro? I can't think of anything, bro. It's very unique, right? You got pockets of little communities, but not like, if you look at Town Hamlets, mashallah, and the Bengalis, mashallah, in Town Hamlets, they're into politics. There's councillors. It's very much
something.
I've maybe Wolf Forest with Pakistanis. But it's not as dense. So and I learned a lot about the Bengali culture as well. I grew up a lot of Bengalis as well.
Balasani.
Balo. Bro, did I say it right?
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah, mashallah. Barakallahu fiqh, bro. I'm a black belt in Bengali food though. Don't get it twisted, bro. I used to go to that shop in Brick Lane. That does the little fishes, bro. What are they called again, bro?
Elisha.
The little fish. Is that what it's called?
No.
What's that? Cheski. Yeah. So whoa. So they're quite taste, bro. But I had to have it a few times for me to like it, bro. But it was just like the fact that, there's bare little fishes on the thing and you have it with rice in it, or anyway, I digress, bro. But but I did because I was very naive. Like I was like, right, there's East London Mosque, mashallah, like one of the biggest mosques in Europe, right? Yeah. And I was like, but when I saw like what you said, drugs, prostitution, teenage pregnancies, like, and I read this statistic that Taham is the poorest borough at night and the richest in the daytime, bro. Yeah. When you look at all the financial centres around.
Unemployment, housing crisis.
And it's crazy, bro.
Gang, it's reduced a lot now.
Alhamdulillah, is that?
Prior to what it was in the 90s.
Was it worse in the 90s?
It was worse in the 90s, yeah.
SubhanAllah.
actual gangs. It was. It's sad because it went from Bengalis uniting with each other
against a common enemy almost.
Basically, with the what do you call them? National Front.
Yeah, National Front.
The National Front with racism.
That was in the 80s, right?
Yeah, late 70s, 80s, after, famous Altabuddin.
Yeah.
Who passed away.
Altabali Park,
Altabali, sorry,
1978.
1978. Yeah. After that, there was a big uproar and the Bengali side community coming together. From Drummond Street.
Yes.
From Cannon Street, which was known as Brockmar Boys. Shadwell was known as DOP. They were like the older brothers, the uncles, the uncles in the community, who basically united together to fight off the racism. And then from that, in the 90s, you went to the 90s, the Bengalis fighting each other.
What was that around though? How did that kind of...
It was a lot to do with drugs.
Yeah, so I thought so.
Drugs was introduced, hard drugs was introduced into the communities. And these were the elder brothers. When you asked me a question before, in my teens, who do I looked up to? These were the guys, unfortunately, that were into hard drugs. They were selling it and they took it, and then that's where you see the elder guys in our communities. You see that's addicted to drugs are the guys who were selling it before. You don't see many young people now who are addicted to crack, cocaine, or heroin. They're addicted to laughing gas.
I see it, bro, all over.
Which is another big problem. But so that's because of that happened. The fights happens.
So what's happening now? Like, because I know I worked with Osmani for a little while, about 3-month period, and there was that gang mediation group called.
It's called Asha.
Asha, that's it. Asha, yeah. And then they were doing
work,
doing very good work, going out and literally like guerrilla youth work.
Yeah.
Going into and chatting to them, and I don't know what is it still about now. They're still doing.
I think they're still about the movement. I liked it a lot because it involved certain community members, people who had sort of position in the community. So if there was an incident, for example, between two communities, what would they do is they would call up a person of authority from that community, and they'll call up a person of authority on the second community and bring them together and try and reconcile without it getting any worse. So it was a lovely way to intervene. We had respect growing up, you see. When we was growing up in the late 90s, early 2000, when someone elder in the community would say something to you, you would respect it. And nowadays, you say something, they'll be like, who are you? Or what are you going to do? Or they'll provoke you and won't be scared to lift up a weapon. Or I know I'm
take
talking
a life.
Take a life, unfortunately. I know I'm talking a lot about
the negative aspect.
The negatives.
No, but we're going to get to the positive, inshallah. But it's important that we highlight the state of affairs because...
don't get me wrong, there are so much positives in Hamlet. So many young people achieving fantastic grades, going above and beyond, especially with the dynamics they have in the houses with overcrowding and difficulty in accessing all these opportunities. Young people are thriving in Tower Hamlets, which wasn't the case. With the earlier generation.
And there's a lot of initiatives. I know like schools are kind of doing kind of partnership programs with Oxford and Cambridge and kind of doing all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Shout out to my niece. She just got a placement at Oxford University. She's leaving today.
MashaAllah. What's she doing?
She's studying history.
MashaAllah.
She's a amazing person, amazing individual. Worked really, really hard and is inspiration for all my other nieces and nephews.
Keep her steadfast as well. Because
yeah.
there are other challenges as well when you get into university. You know, and inshallah she's going to be ready for those challenges, isn't it? But I feel like, can I ask you, because I'm going to ask you a question, and I would like you to be as honest as you can with me. Yeah. What are the fathers doing, bro? That's what I want to know. Because I feel like, you know, when you see kids out there, they don't drop from a tree, and it's not like they landed from space, right?
Yeah.
These kids, what what role do their fathers play in their life, innit? And I'm asking this, I have experience of it, but I want to see what your experience is. And so what's the state of fatherhood in these communities? And
what you're talking about
in your
now?
experience now, right now, because you've got the finger on the pulse, bro. You're dealing with these kids, yeah. So what's the situation with fathers now?
It depends on how old the father is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one dilemma. Sometimes it may be that the father is his second marriage.
Right.
Okay, for example, so there might be a generation gap. He might be in his late 40s, early 50s, and the child might be 15 years old. See,
That ain't much of a generation gap.
yeah, but what I'm saying is they didn't basically the 15 years he didn't bond the gap.
I see what
Okay,
you're saying.
so maybe the dad was busy working, trying to provide for the family. He didn't have much input into
the upbringing.
The upbringing. It's mainly our mothers who do amazing work because
Yeah.
they say you learn the religion in the lap of your mother. Yeah,
100%.
So the father may be busy working or doing a second shift, trying to put food on the plate. That's one issue. The second issue is they might be oblivious of what the son is doing. At home, he's probably an angel, but on social media and outside, he's a completely different person. So they don't know that. So even
Are you married?
yeah, I'm married.
You
Alhamdulillah.
got kids?
No children.
Not yet.
No.
Soon, inshallah.
Inshallah.
But the reason why I say this, is I'm a father,
Yeah.
and this is something that I feel like I don't know what kind of initiatives are happening in the community, bro, but I really do see that we prioritize money and things. I'll give you an example, bro.
Yeah.
What use is it that I'm working like a donkey, bruv, and I lose my kids?
Yeah.
Like if I these fathers that their kids are, they're too far gone, yeah? Or I've dealt with cases where they're doing 15, 20 years in prison, bro. And the dad's like, what? Like, if you spoke to the dad and said, look, in 10, 15 years, your son is going to be in jail.
What would you do differently?
What would you do differently, bro?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because there's no point giving him, the best trainers, all this stuff. I feel like it's a trap. It's a trap.
I do feel like the fathers of today, they have a lot more. Look, the privileges the young people have, yeah? I'm training youngsters, 7 years old, private one-to-one sessions. Parents are paying for their children. GCSE support, A-level support, private tuition. So there has been a shift, 100%. There's been a shift. There's been a change of fathers are being more involved. Back in the days, our fathers had to work. Some fathers working in restaurants 6 days a week, coming home 1 day a week. He's too tired to have a voice over the children. You see, then he's back out again. And it's because of the lack of qualifications. They came...
But that's then.
Yeah, and
Because
now...
like, I'm 39, yeah?
Yeah.
So my son's 16 years old, yeah? Now there's guys my age or a little bit older that have their kids that are 13, 14, 15, yeah? You don't have that excuse, bro.
Yeah.
That's real talk, Abdul
No,
Hannan.
100%, yeah, 100%.
Honestly, bro, like I feel like we're making mad excuses for guys not... Look, father's not meant to be there 24/7.
No.
Come on, man. Like we're not... That's the mother's job. No, like if we're looking at traditional families, yeah?
No, you have to...
But you see what I'm saying to you? You can be there without actually physically being there. Do you see what I'm saying? Like being attentive. And I feel like sometimes, like you said, they're paying for privates, they're doing all it. But what are you doing, bro? As a dad, what are you doing? Are you giving him your time?
that's the most important.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, or attention.
Yeah.
Because, like, we run the gym, bro. I worked with young people most of my life.
That's a big problem with fathers expressing the love for the children. They don't do it as much.
I think discipline, number one. Yeah, I think as a father, your role is to discipline your child. That's reality, bruv. I don't think sometimes we abdicate that to the mum. No, bruv.
No, but also at the same time, I would say is be accessible.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes
100% be accessible.
we'd be so scared of, speaking to dad or doing something wrong to elder brother. Imagine we did something wrong and someone complains in our generation.
Yeah, you're getting cuffed in the head, bruv. Yeah. The thing that dad only is about when the cuff needs to happen, bruv.
Yeah, that shouldn't be the case. Do you see?
There's a balance.
The dynamics has changed. I've seen it, alhamdulillah. I've seen the dynamics change. And I've seen a lot of young people not being scared to open up to their parents. And this is the relationship we need to have as fathers, as parents, as mediators, as educators, is that we have a open door policy. So, kids done something wrong, he should have the courage to come and tell you, I've done this wrong. Okay, all right, fair enough. You make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. How do you change about it? How do you move on? How do you...
You're an educator, yeah?
Yeah.
So I taught as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the times, think about how many conversations you've had with a 14, 15-year-old, yeah? And their dad doesn't even know what's going on, bruv.
Yeah.
It's easier it would be easier for you if you're the dad and like you're making a joint decision. Does that make sense? The dad is there. You're getting support as a teacher, bro. So I feel like sometimes the teacher is the dad, the mum, everyone, bro. Yeah. And I feel like, don't you think, bro? You've seen in schools.
I've in the community, I've been to people's houses to sort out.
It's crazy, bro.
Issues within the families because the kid would only listen to me. Do you see? Or I have parents calling me up.
Come chat to him.
Yeah. Or if he's with you, it's okay.
Yeah.
You see that level of trust and respect.
But I feel like I give you an example. Malaysia, I read this a long time ago. Before you get married, you have to get a certificate. So there's like this course that you go on.
Okay.
So say, for example, I don't know if they still do it now, but I read it a long time ago. They have this with Hajj as well. Before you go to Hajj, you have to get signed off.
Training.
That you're trained to go to Hajj. But they had this thing that if you're going to get married, you have to go through this training. The girl goes through the training and the boy goes through the training. It's like a course almost.
Okay.
So having children, even the intimacy part of things, like what to look out for, all these things, they go through it. And then you kind of get this kind of, this guy's ready. So for example, imagine your son wants to get married. Yeah. So someone's going to give you their daughter, bruv. The most precious thing, yeah? Like, you need to know you need to understand the responsibility you're getting.
100%.
Because that's where it starts from, bro. But unfortunately, it's like, you need to get a driving license, you need to go at least 6 months with an instructor, and then you have to do your theory, then you have to do your practical, but with marriage, it's like, and if the mum is not sitting down with the daughter and the son and going through and the dad and all. And so I feel like sometimes people, because that whole matchmaking process is happening in private, bro. Like sometimes they meet each other and then they're together for such a long time. Then they get married. And then a lot of the times, I know Brother Gabriel was speaking to me, the last podcast.
Yeah.
Gabriel Romani, he was saying that a lot of marriages break down because they've been seeing each other for like, say 2 years. Yeah. 2-3 years they've been like, a couple, yeah, but they only see each other when the good times. Think about it, yeah. We're gonna go out to the cinema, and then you get married, bruv, and it's like this is not like
it's a shock.
It's a shock, and then I don't like you, bruv. You're a waste man.
It's a reality check.
Yeah, bruv. And then imagine these couples are having kids. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of, like I said, takes a village to raise a child, bro.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
But look, let me ask you a question.
Go on.
What about the kids that rebels?
Yes.
And he's not a malicious kid.
Yeah.
He's just a naughty kid. You see?
I'll give you the advice my dad gave me.
Yeah, go on.
He said to me, a child is gonna like, if you think of a line, a trajectory, they're gonna bend. They're gonna go the wrong way at one point.
100%, yeah.
But how much of a detour they take depends on your upbringing.
That's lovely.
Do you understand? Now, if your upbringing was terrible, like if there was no upbringing, bruv, they've gone. Like we've all been through it. Like someone, bruv, you want to smoke this weed, bruv? You want to do?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? There's certain things. No, I'm not on that. You might steal something from a shop, but you're not gonna go stab someone in the face, bruv. It's do you see what I'm saying, bruv? So depending on your upbringing, bruv, every kid goes through a rebellious phase, bro. And I think like we should manage that process, innit? But for them to kind of really go left, yeah, that means there's a fundamental problem, bro.
There's no communities nowadays. That's the problem. And neighbors have become hollow.
100%, bro.
There's love that's lost. You know, I keep saying the 90s, man. You'd have the whole community out. The aunties enjoying the weather, looking over the building, seeing the children playing, everybody out. Where's that love gone? Where's that communityness? Like, where's that community cohesion gone? There's different community cohesion, but it's not like how it used to be back in the 90s. Something's gone left.
Don't you feel like with social media, we know too much about each other, bro?
Yeah. Where were the days like you would go knocking on the doors asking if so-and-so is home or go
I don't need to because I've just saw on his story he's at Burger Shack, wherever he is, bro, and he just had a... I know, do you know what I'm saying, bruv? I don't need to call him. I know exactly what he's doing, bruv. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'd have a conversation with the auntie. Assalamualaikum, how are you? Yeah, is my friend home? Is Nazmul? Do you get me?
100%, bro.
Can he come out? No, he's having his rice now. He'll come out in 15 minutes. All right, make sure you guys are home before Maghrib. That's it. We knew when the lights... When the
lights turn off in the street, it's time to get home, bro.
It's time to get home, We knew that.
But subhanAllah, like, and I feel like, I really do believe, like, I think empowering fathers is very important because when you see a society break down, that means the men in that society have lost their way, bro. Honestly, bro. Like, if the men are upright and righteous and kind and gentle, with your wife and your kids, like a pussycat inside the house, a lion outside. Not the other way around. You go to work, oh yes sir, in the house, oh where's my food? Do you know what I'm saying, bro? Inside be like a little pussycat, outside be like a lion, bro. And I feel like, and be just with your family, be kind, be a solace to your kids. And when you come home, your missus should be happy that you're home, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Not like, my God.
I read a quote, I'm trying to think of it now. I think it's easier to mend young minds than to fix broken men.
Wow, 100%, bro.
You see, that's 100%. The quote. I think something on the lines of that. So the problem is when we can nip it in the bud early and, fix it, then it going into the late 20s, early 30s, they don't change. So
like you said, like if you can... I'll give you an example. I'm not going to ask you a question in your experience.
Yeah.
This is something, my experience when I was working with young people, they feel like they have to be perfect.
Who?
Young people, bro.
Yeah.
They feel like that they can't make a mistake. So what happens is, when they make too many mistakes, they give up. So for example, they got kicked out of school. That's it. They've written off their whole life. I got expelled from school, That's it. I'm done, bro. At 14 years old, 15 years old, they've just written their whole life story there. I'm one guy in the gym, I said, he goes, I failed my GCSEs. I go, yeah, and? Just take him again, bro.
100%.
In his head, he's like, khalas, I've finished, I'm done.
Yeah.
Bro, just take him again, bro. Just work harder next time. And then if you fail that one, take it again, bro.
100%.
But they write off and I feel like, and then society writes them off. They're that, you're a donkey, you're this, you're that, you're never going to succeed. But I've heard in competition, bro, and we're gonna get to GrappleHub and all this stuff, because you see a lot of character on the mat, right? What they like on the mat is probably what they're gonna be like on at home, So the dad's like rinsing out his kid, bruv. Like his kid's lost a point or whatever, or lost a match, grappling match, bruv. He's like, why did you give up? I'm like, bro, do you even train, bruv? Have you even been on the mat? Have you had someone take your back and you trying to fight the hands, bro? Have you had someone get you in a tight dust and you're trying to fight it, bro? No, you haven't, bro. So don't put that on your son. Be supportive, innit? Do you see what I'm saying? So imagine now, put that in education.
Yeah. No, every kid's going to get it the first time round. Do you see? And our problem is, when I was just speaking to a student, literally today, he basically failed his GCSE, but he's actually a clever kid, but he didn't perform for whatever reason, he didn't perform in his GCSEs. And everybody's having a go at him. Like, you don't do well in GCSEs and stuff like that. I said, don't worry, mate. It's fine. It's the end of the world. Do you get what I mean? And that reassurance that GCSEs ain't the end of the world. So what? Do you
Bro,
see?
at
Our parents
16 years old, you think that's it, your life's over, bro?
No, so many opportunities. He can do BTEC. He can
Retake him.
He can retake his GCSEs. He can do.
Some more, bro.
No, I've got it. Let me have that. He can do so many things that he wants to do. He can do apprenticeship. He can do a BTEC course. He can do, I don't know, wherever it is. You don't put somebody down.
It doesn't help.
That, especially in our communities. We like to put our children down because they failed. It's not them failing. Some people are not academic. Some people learn by else. I don't know, something else.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like also...
What do you call them? Kinesthetic learners.
Yeah.
Who learn by doing.
Yeah.
So he might be good with his...
But bro, who said school... Like, this is another thing as well. I try not put pressure on my children, yeah? I say, look, put the work in. I go, you can't control the outcome. What you can control is what work you put in it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm never going to say to you, if you've put the work in, I'm never going to say to you, and you got bad grades, I'm never going to say to you, like, shame you for that. But if you didn't put the work in, and you got the bad grades, I don't even have to say nothing, because you know you didn't put the work in, bro. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's because I've been around Abdul Hannan, and I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
School high achievers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kids that achieve good grades, and from a different community outside of London, bro. Like I went to private schools and stuff like this, and their parents are on like 6-figure salaries, bro. Like investment bankers and stuff, bro. They don't put any pressure on their kids, bro. No. They just open doors for them, bro.
That's it. That's how you should
just open the door, and which leads me to another thing with kids in our kind of communities is it's not the lack of opportunity. There is no lack of opportunity. That's a myth, bro. To say that like people in Tamil Hamlets don't have the opportunity, they do. They just don't know it exists, bro. Yeah. That's all it is. They just
go out there, find it.
That's it, bro. So let's go nicely into kind of your background, because you did tell me that you had a bit of your superhero origin story in it. So let's kind of go through that, inshallah.
My education background.
Everything. I mean, we talked about,
Started off, so I was a hyperactive kid. Very, very hyperactive. Are
you only child? Or you got brothers and sisters?
I'm the youngest.
Of course, you're Bengali. You're 100% got brothers and sisters. 100%. I love America.
I'm the youngest of 7.
Okay. Mashallah.
So hyperactive kid, coming off loads of exclusions in primary and secondary school.
So what was the exclusion? What were you getting excluded?
Naughty. I was just hyperactive.
Like, give me an example. What kind of naughtiness, like?
Climbing over the fence. I don't know, doing silly stuff, not following instructions.
Right.
Just being rebellious. Yeah. So very, very sporty, but not very.
You didn't like school.
I loved the friends. Basically, the problem was I wasn't academic, so my learning took a lot longer than.
Did you have like dyslexia or?
No, it's just that.
Or ADHD or like, not to label it, bro, but you just.
I don't think I was diagnosed with anything. It's just that I was hyperactive. That's all it was.
You couldn't sit down and actually. That would be the worst thing in the world, bro, for you to sit down and read something. Yeah.
Hence why I'm very active and productive now, because of what I was.
But you're channeling it, innit?
Yeah. So the thing was, I was labeled as a bad kid rather than a naughty kid.
Right.
So that restricted my education progress, because the teachers, only a few teachers, really tried to help me out.
What school did you go to?
Stepney Green School, boys' school.
Stepney
Green.
Oh,
boys.
Stepney Green. Okay, right.
2002 to 2007.
Okay, mashallah.
So that time.
That school's mad, bro.
Yeah, it was. We experienced a lot.
It's a tough school to.
Even growing up, we saw a lot of things we shouldn't have seen. Anyways, cut the long story short, couple of exclusion, went PRU.
This was in secondary school.
I went PRU twice.
Like University of Crime, PRU, bro.
Yeah, so
it's crazy, bro.
So I was.
Which one did you go to?
The one in Bow. The one in Bow.
Yeah, I know that one.
So I went twice. Kind of coming to the end of being permanently excluded. I was told I was blacklisted if I do.
Blacklisting a kid, bro.
Yeah, for a year. The problem was,
So you couldn't even go PRU
no, so I was blacklisted
from
from
school.
like like in school. Anything I do, one last thing, I was on my last straw basically.
Right. Okay.
So
right,
I would
yeah.
be permanent exclusion.
And what is that? What does permanent exclusion mean?
So then you go from PRU to third base.
That sounds mad, bro.
Yeah,
What's third base?
Third base is where you just, it's even worse than PRUs. You go to, and you're only allowed to do 5 GCSEs, I think less than 5 GCSEs. And
So it's like prison almost.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
And from third base, if you get kicked out from third base, you go to army school. So
Wow.
yeah, so yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
Army school is long.
Yeah, so you don't want to go there. Anyways,
Did you go to third base?
no, I didn't go third base.
Alhamdulillah,
So I checked. Basically, that's when I thought, you know what, I need to put my head down a little bit, and I did focus. And
So what age were you? Roughly?
15, 16.
Okay.
And I found, I'll tell you the story anyways.
Go on.
I did start to focus, and he was being challenged, not in school, but in the boxing gym.
Right.
My coach, Lee Hammersley.
So how did you find him? Like, how did that work? How did you?
I'll tell you that story. So the teachers weren't diagnosing it as, like, you know, just hyperactive kid. They was diagnosing it as a bad kid. Anyways, I did focus, and I did manage to put the effort and attention, basically due to boxing. I started boxing 2004, watching Amir Khan on TV, 2004 Olympics. I thought, wow, brown face on TV. We didn't see that, the representation of, you know, Asian faces on TV. I saw Amir Khan. I was 14 years old, 2004. Amir Khan, I don't know how old he was, probably 17. I said, if he can do it, I can do it. And that's when I joined St. George's Amateur Boxing Club, which is now known as Poplar Boys and Girls. Prior to that, it was known as Lansbury Amateur Boxing Club.
Where is that, bro?
It's in Poplar.
And it's still about, yeah?
Yeah, it's still about.
Okay.
Yeah, but before that, he was in Tiller Road, IOD. Prior to that, he was in Shadwell. So I joined Amateur Boxing Club about age of 14, 15. And my coach, he knew, Lee Hammersley, that I had some sort of behavioral issues. So he challenged it, and he challenged me through boxing. And the more sessions I attended training, my behavior was going down. And my attention span and my focus, my respect was increasing. Because I would go there, I would spar, and I would get, you know, handed it to me. You know?
So what was about training that reflect? Because obviously someone like a parent listening to this, how the hell does boxing?
Yeah,
you know.
So basically, people would think, oh, well, how can a violent sport sort out a kid that's, you know, it's about me challenging my energy the right way. I had a platform where I could exert all my energy, and at the same time feel affiliated and be part of a club and be listened to and be respected. And my coach did that. Lee Hammersley, he did that, and he made us all feel welcome. From there onwards, my perception changed. At 16, I realized I have 1 year in school. I need to focus, and that was being what's that word I'm looking for? Again and again said to me by my coach.
It was reiterated by your coach.
By my coach that H, you need to put the effort in. Boxing is about discipline. It's about hard work. You got to make sure you put in the effort. All of that is constantly being told to me. So I managed to change, and you know what? I failed everything. I failed all my GCSEs. Only one GCSE I passed, and the rest of them
What did you pass?
Media studies.
Okay, mashallah.
I thought I would pass sports studies, but I wasn't good at the academic side.
Right.
Do you see? RE, I was very good at it, but I didn't know how
The
to...
writing side of it, yeah.
And you'll be... I'll tell you anyways. So I failed everything. And all of them were like D's, which could have been C's.
Yeah, if you started a year or so earlier than you did, you would have got your C's.
I had one E and maybe one F. All the other GCSEs were D's.
So that's a pass, bro.
Yeah, it's like...
It's not really, like, it's not a fail, bro. Really.
I think
you didn't get A to C's, basically.
Yeah.
That's what it was, yeah.
So I said,
so out of, 9 months of study, basically, 9 months of putting your head down, September.
So I thought, hold on a minute, you know what? that sort of gave me the inspiration of I can do
Mashallah.
things. So I went to college. My boxing caliber was improving, and I was boxing. First fight, I won. Second fight, I won. Third fight, I fought a home crowd. I definitely thought I won it, but they gave it to him. Anyways, I took it not so well, but trained harder. And I boxed in the Northeast Amateur Boxing Championship. Met the guy again on the first match. Rematch, I beat him. Then I had another fight. I won that, London champion, 2009, 54 kilograms. And then I had another fight, which was my 6th fight against who's now WBC, I think, silver lightweight champion.
What's his name?
His name is, if you search up, is Rhys Bellotti. Rhys Bellotti. I was on the same team as Anthony Joshua. We both represented London and Western County versus the combined service.
Yeah, Joshua is about your age, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how is Joshua? He's like 32, I
He's
think.
32.
Yeah,
And
right.
I should have bring it in, but
This
yeah.
guy.
Rhys Bellotti. I faced him in the...
Get a better picture, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah.
So that guy.
Yeah, I faced him in the amateurs. Anthony Joshua was also boxing the same show. Well, but I didn't know Anthony Joshua then.
Of course, yeah. Was
get
it
what I
before
mean?
pre-Olympics? Because he was 2012 Olympics,
This
isn't
was
it?
the novices, so meaning it's under like 10 fights. Under
Right.
10s and under 20 fights.
So can I ask you a question
Yes.
quickly? When did Joshua fight? It was the 2012 Olympics that he won gold, right? Or was it silver he won?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's the London Olympics that he won. Because I remember this because he was all over the subway.
That novices was in 2009.
Yeah, so that would have been before he won his before the Olympics.
I think 2012, yeah.
Yeah,
So it must have been 2012.
So
yeah.
he had under 10 fights in 2009.
Yeah,
That's crazy, bruv.
yeah.
So from 2009 to so from under 10 fights in
Yeah.
2009 to Olympic champion, bruv. Did he win gold in?
So basically,
Check it out, bro.
that's under 10 fights.
So you were on the same card as him.
Yeah.
Sick.
So basically, from London,
Yeah.
London's the toughest division, basically. So you have North East, then you have South, you have all of that, yeah? You have to fight, then overall you become London champion, which I
Right.
became London
In
champion,
your weight category.
54 kilograms. Then after London, you fight the counties, Western counties, Southern counties. I beat the guy from the Western counties. He's from Bristol.
Right.
I beat him. Then he put me London and Western counties versus the combined service.
What's that?
Combined service, Army, Royal Navy,
Okay, right.
and the Marine. So
What's their level like?
they're basically very strong, very fit. Not all of them are technically good,
Technical, right.
yeah, but very strong, very thingy. And so that was the national quarterfinals, which I lost. And
So what would be the kind of so after that? What's the next progression route?
if I became,
So if you won that,
if I won that novices under 10,
yeah,
I would then maybe compete in the novices
yeah,
under 20,
Right.
under 20 fights.
and then what happens after that?
After that, then you would fight in the ABA, which is the most prestige elite tournament,
Right.
senior elite,
Right.
the best in the country, and it's open class.
So what does that mean?
Basically, you can fight someone from the GB or England squad.
Right.
You see, you're
Okay.
fighting to be the best in England, whereas the novices is under 10 fights only.
And that's amateur, obviously. Yeah.
Even the elites is amateurs,
Right.
but the ABA is the
So if you get a ABA title now,
yeah.
so what happens after that?
After that, you can be you'd represent. Then you'd fight.
You
in
can
the
go to the Olympics after.
You can go Olympics, or you go into the Four Nations Cup.
Right. So like Commonwealth type of.
No, England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales. If you win that, then you go Europeans. If you win that, then you go Worlds.
What about Commonwealth?
Yeah, Commonwealth, Wales.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. The damage that boxing does as well, bruv. Getting papped in the head, bruv, and you know the whole ruling about getting punched in the face and all this stuff, yeah. But did you find after training or whatever, did you ever get like headaches or concussions? Have you been concussed or like never?
No.
Have you broken a nose? Mashallah, you got a nice nose, bro. So it looks like you haven't broken it or anything.
No, but obviously, it's like I've been hurt,
In what way? How,
Like, as in punching the nose and blood coming out. And then 'cause we used to like
war.
we were on a good level. Alhamdulillah, we were on a good level. It's just that we were cut short.
Yeah.
We don't.
Why did you stop, bro?
I don't know. I come on to that.
Yeah.
And that's where my life changes direction, and I make a choice.
Yeah. We'll talk about it after Salah, inshallah. It's a good after Maghrib,
good,
inshallah.
good intermission.
Good intermission. So, boys, exactly. Was that a Channel S transition, bro?
I don't know.
Mashallah. Okay, so guys, we're gonna pray Maghrib and we'll be back, inshallah. And we're back. Okay, prayed Maghrib. Abdul Hannan, before we broke up for Maghrib. Not broke up, you know what I mean, bro. You know what's funny? Because he's seeing behind the scenes, isn't it? Now we got to pretend we weren't even chatting for like 10 minutes, bro. So, obviously watched that awful KSI fight, but we were talking about, obviously you went through the ranks, got to, what was the level you got to?
So I was London champion.
Yeah.
And I got to national quarterfinals of the novices.
And then what happened?
I lost that fight. And from that was, took a U-turn.
Right.
Sort of losing the love for the sport, because I took it quite personally.
What, from the loss, yeah?
Yeah, took it quite personally. Plus, the club was going through a bit of difficulty with the coaches and stuff like that. And I really asked myself a question, like, do I really want to do this? Do you know what I mean? Because it's becoming serious, do you see? And I was having a bit of a break. That's where my life was changing quite a bit.
And how old were you at this time?
19.
Okay, right.
19, yeah. And I actually was thinking, where am I going with the direction? My mum became quite severely ill at that time. Sadly, she passed away age of 19, and it was a big wake-up call for me, because I wasn't ready for that.
Who is, bro, man?
My mum was back and forth in the hospital. What also made it difficult was she was severely blind as well. So she taught us.
For how long?
For more than 16 to 18 years.
Okay, she lost her sight. How did she lose her sight?
She lost it when she took me to Bangladesh, probably in 1994, something like that. She took me to Bangladesh, and then she got the illness. And it's called Stephen Johnson syndrome. You can search it up in a free time. Right. So what does Stephen Johnson, very in a nutshell, is it affects the water in your eyes. So you don't have no water in your eyes. So constantly my mom had to give eye drops every 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, water to keep that going. And over the years... Anyways, my mom...
It's gradual losing of the eyesight.
Yeah, and then that basically, because of there's no water in the eyes, it creates other problems in the body. Anyways, she was, mashallah, always giving. And she was the heart of our family, heart of our building. All the aunties used to come to our building, and, mashallah, you know, they used to... She taught me a lot. So yeah, she wasn't really that impressed with me doing boxing, because she was worried. Not like all mothers, may Allah bless them. They were worried about the son's health. And after she passed away, I really questioned myself hard. What am I gonna do? At that time, I was in college. I was doing a level 3 now. You know, I told you I failed my GCSEs. I did a BTEC sports studies. I got a pass, but I wasn't allowed to go to the next year. So I had to do another year. I did level 3, did media studies, did a retake of my GCSEs. Applied for university. And alhamdulillah, somehow managed to get in through clearance.
Inshallah. Which uni was it?
University of East London.
Okay.
I went there, had an interview, and they really liked me. Because on the side I was doing a level 2 youth work OCN with, I forgot the name now. Yes, I was doing a youth work course in Westbury. So I did a youth work course with them, and then I moved on. So I decided that I'm not going to box no more. I'm going to focus on my education and make my mom proud. And that was my sole, motive at that time. And I was so motivated of doing something. Alhamdulillah. Imagine a kid going from no GCSE to coming out of university with 3 marks shy from a 2-1. I put a lot of effort in, and and then alhamdulillah, I came out of university with the degree, and I said, okay, what are you gonna do now, H?
Sorry, is your father still alive?
My father passed away 2 years ago.
Allah yarhamullah.
So what happened was, my dad also had illness as well. He had bipolar, so it's quite difficult growing up. But you understand, the love, the qadr of parents. You learn it at a young age, I said, after I graduated, 21, I think I was, 22. What are you going to do now, H? You got a degree in youth and community work. You got some experience in boxing. You got to do something. So 2012 Olympics, there's a spark that came. I thought, all right, I've just graduated. I've got a degree in youth and community work. I've got some experience in boxing. I've got a lot of passion to help the community. I always knew, alhamdulillah, of what I was going to do. And this stems from childhood. As a young boy, I saw youth workers, and they meant a lot to me. I thought, wow, these guys are fun, they're cool, they're amazing individual, they get to do all this fun stuff. So I knew I was going to be a youth worker. And, growing up, I didn't have all the opportunities, and wait for a bit of difficulties. So I said, you know what, I'm going to grow up to be a youth worker, and I'm going to make sure no young people goes through what I went through. And that was the intention. So I knew I wanted to become a youth worker. And that was the direction I was taking. Hence why I was doing, prior to university, I was doing a voluntary course in youth work in OCN level 2. So I said, okay, I got a few friends together, and I started Brawlers boxing. It started as a movement. Alhamdulillah, I started growing in capacity, started growing. Few years in.
So this was 2012?
2013 we started. With 2012 was the idea.
Did you run a summer course for Future Versity?
Not for Future Versity.
In boxing?
No.
You didn't do one?
No.
Okay.
So prior to that, after I decided that I'm not going to compete no more, my coach put me in a boxing course. So I did a ABA level 1 coach. It's an assistant coach. You have to be on that for 2 years. Then you can apply to for a level 2 head coach. So I did a level 2 head coach. So I had the qualification.
So what's that like, bro? For those who's listening who might, if they want to go down that road, what does that look like?
So it's a 5-day course. On the 5th day, you have a physical examination of how well you can deliver punches accurately and know your details in terms of like rules, regulation, ABA, guidelines, and child protection, safeguarding, all of that you need to know. Level 2 is a bit more serious. Again, 5-day course with the final day being an examination. So
do you have to have a background? Do you have to have a background in boxing to get into that?
Kind of, but not necessarily.
Right.
Did you know something? Yeah, Muhammad Ali's coach, Angelo Dundee, he never did boxing in his life.
Wow.
And he was one of the greatest coaches in the world. It's the knowledge. Do you see? You don't necessarily need to have the experience. So where were we?
So you did your ABA
yes,
level
I did
1.
I did level 1 twice. I did level 2 twice.
Twice?
Yeah, I did it twice.
Why?
Solely because I moved different clubs as well.
So you have to do it at a club?
Yes, I did it with the clubs.
Right,
and I've been for many years. I was at Lansbury and stuff like that. I did it with them, and then it expired after 3 years, so I had to do it again.
Right.
So I did level.
So you have to keep doing it then?
Yeah, every 3 years you have to do it. I did apply for level 3. It was a junior Olympic coach. I got rejected.
Bro, how serious are these certificates, bro?
Yeah, very serious.
So
Level
they're
2, you're a head coach.
So what is that like?
You can open up your own club.
Right.
You can legitimately open up your own club and conduct sparring. Level 1, assistant coach. You're only allowed to supervise sparring with a head coach. You're not allowed to start your own club up.
Okay.
And you're not allowed to ref in the corner.
Also, when you go to licensed boxing matches,
you're not allowed to. Yeah, level 2, you're allowed to ref.
Oh, ref as well, yeah?
No, ref. Sorry, coach.
Coach.
Yeah, coach.
And what's level 3 then?
Level 3, I applied for a England boxing coach to become a coach for England. Level 3 is like a junior Olympic coach level sort of thing. I got rejected the first time.
Why?
You have to be recommended by the regional coach, which is a level 3 coach. Right. He has to recommend you.
Right.
So I wasn't, basically I applied for, I was young, they brushed me off.
Right.
I had the coaching abilities and the caliber, but probably perceived as too young. I applied for it again the second time round. I got accepted, but I didn't have the time to do it. Right. So life got in the way.
So how long are these, the level 3?
Level 3 is like a 2 weeks course.
Right.
And then it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder.
Have you done it since?
No.
Okay, all right.
Anyways, so we started Brawlers boxing. Started off like a movement. I worked with a lot of community centres. I said, look, at that time I didn't know what, like, a bit naive. I said, look, we'll deliver for free. I was very passionate. We'll hit your outputs. We'll bring in you young people. You give us a space for free. Do you see? And the youth club were like, yeah, we'll give you a space because you're doing all the hard work.
Yeah.
Plus, they're not paying me for it.
Outreach is the hardest bit, bro.
Yeah, so they're not paying me for it. So it was a win-win situation for both at that time. Because for me, it was a passion about, trying to create a name. And alhamdulillah, we did. Through Brawlers Boxing, we won the Tower Hamlets Community Safety Awards given by the Borough Police Commander and the Metropolitan Police. Out of all the community organisations out there in Tower Hamlets in 2015 or 2016, Brawlers Boxing wins.
So how do you even enter that?
You get nominated.
By who?
By whoever nominates.
Like an organisation, or is it
organisation, or it could be an individual who's nominated me. So somebody must have nominated me.
Oh, you didn't know?
No, so I just find out. I think I know who it is. I think it's Abdul Hannan, is MBE.
Okay.
I think he nominated Brawlers Boxing. I think it's him. I haven't found that yet.
Okay, right.
And I don't know.
Okay.
I perceive it's him. So he nominated me, and turns out we won it. Alhamdulillah. Like,
well, what comes with that though?
So you get recognition.
Right.
You get recognition, and you can apply for funding, which I did. I applied for funding for Tower Hamlets Council, a funding of £10,000 to buy equipment, to buy uniforms, and to be like a club.
Right.
We were just like in a community centre, and
so what happened? So you got that 10 grand.
Yeah. So I bought uniforms, I bought bags,
Where would you put the bags?
In the community centre.
Where you think? So you didn't have your own space or anything?
No, we was at. I moved around a couple of times in Tower Hamlets. Ensign Youth Club, Burner Youth Club, Tarling Youth in Shadwell, Arbour Youth in Stepney, and I even worked with the local police, just to tackle, help. My whole intention was to help young people. Anyways, cut the long story short, Brawlers Boxing was doing really well, really good. But what happens is, when you don't have money, the passion sort of dies out. Anyways,
passion died out?
No, as the club as a whole, because you don't have money to keep it
lifeblood there,
sustaining the project.
Yeah.
And it was draining me, because I would do my work and then I would teach at a boxing club. Then I would go and teach in Ensign Youth Club till 11 o'clock in the night. Constantly doing that for no money. And it was a voluntary. What my money was making was putting it back into the kids, into the club, because trying to make it grow. Me and Bala did that. So Bala basically at the start, he helped me by putting his own money into the club.
Right.
And he is elder brother to me. He's a very good friend, and he did that. And it's only because of that he did that we was able to sort of alleviate some of the costs. And I wasn't driving at that time, so he was driving. So he would take the kids to competition with his car. So he became like a
mini cab almost.
Yeah. Subhanallah, man.
It's a lot of
And all for, you know, shout out to all the coaches out there, man, especially the boxing coaches who do it for no money and just for the betterment of the community. Anyways,
So
alhamdulillah.
it's sometimes a thankless job, bro. Like, if you're doing it to get like accolades or whatever, even the top, if you look at the top coaches, bro, top ones, you see that they've worked with someone for 15, 20, he leaves them for another camp.
Yeah.
And do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's sometimes, and you don't get the recognition that your athlete gets. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you,
Even like till today, man, seriously, I can't praise my coach enough, man.
yeah.
It's because of that guy, Lee. Because of...
Is he still about?
He's still about.
Does he still coach and stuff?
No, he doesn't coach anymore. He believed in me when no one else did.
Yeah.
And something he said, I want you guys to all listen to this very carefully, because it marks a significant point in my life, in my mindset, everything. And that's where I get my motivation, my drive, my determination from. If you believe in yourself, 50% of the work is already done. The other 50% is you going out there and making it happen. And the key to achieving anything in life is self-belief. That's it. So
No, that's true.
we sort of carried on doing several workshops all around Tower Hamlets, working with the local community, doing AQA programs. Then we was shortlisted for the English Age and Business Awards. We became a finalist which was again very prestigious, by Lloyds Bank. Became a finalist for that, and eventually it came to a point where
You had to make a decision.
I had to make a decision. I couldn't carry on no more, and that's it. And then I switched over, alhamdulillah, to kickboxing. I was doing on the side kickboxing, Muay Thai, traveled to Thailand. I even tried Jiu Jitsu once in 2015 at Sherrard Road. There's a gym there. I tried it once, and couldn't get into it. Sometimes I question why.
You tried it once, you could get it.
Yeah, I tried it once, and I think, what is this?
It's funny when people say that, bro. It's like, it's weird. Like, you try something once, and that's it. You know
I couldn't.
What was it?
I did a gi session, private
Yeah.
session.
Yeah.
Me and this brother, we did it, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't see myself doing it. Do you understand?
But do you feel like you're like in your head, I'm a boxer?
Yeah,
That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And another thing as well, I'm a beginner at this.
Not only that, I thought it's useless. I thought, striking. I was quite naive. I thought, I got striking experience. I know how to punch. I know how to kick. Why do you need to roll around on the ground?
Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, had I started then, maybe I would have given up.
Yeah.
But basically, I started later. I started in maybe 2018. I started.
Okay.
My friend was going there. Bumped into him. And he was saying, yo, I started Jiu-Jitsu. Why didn't you come along? And I
Where
said,
was it? At Spiral?
Spiral Jiu-Jitsu. I said,
shout
you
out
know
to
what?
Brother Saeed.
Yeah. MashaAllah, I learnt a lot from Abid Bhai, Coach Abid. Anyways, started there in January 2018, I think it was. Yeah, I did it for nearly 2 years. Then the lockdown happened. And that's where this opportunity... Because I had a hub, like I said, I was looking for Muslim charity. I had a hub. I always knew I wanted to do something. It's either a boxing club or mixed martial art club, something like that, or something,
Why didn't you start Brawlers back in the space that you got now at GrappleHub?
I sort of lost and also my value sort of moved away from punching the face. Do you see?
Yeah.
It sort of moved away, and I felt like Jiu-Jitsu was more complete.
So you thought Islamically, in the sense of
Not only that, I did boxing for X amount of years. I did K1, I did Muay Thai, then I did Jiu-Jitsu at the end. And to me, Jiu-Jitsu feels most complete.
why is that?
I don't know, I just feel it, I find it...
you personally?
Yeah, personally, I feel like it's a complete sport after doing all of that.
Yeah.
I feel like the human body ain't designed to get punched on the face.
Yeah.
It's abnormal. Do you see the repercussion that it causes? Yes, there is positives and negatives, but it's not designed for that. Do you see? Jiu-Jitsu, however, felt so normal. It felt like, the body's designed to do it. And I started falling in love with Jiu-Jitsu. And
one thing that a lot of people say to me when they start wrestling or grappling or any sorts of grappling art is that with boxing or a striking art, if you go 100% every single time, you're going to end up in a hospital, bruv. Like as in with brain damage of some sort. But you can actually go and roll with someone, full blast. When I say full blast, I mean you're not going to damage your brain. Does that make sense? You can actually go and you can get put in kill positions. For example, rear naked choke is a kill position.
Yeah.
You know, you hold that position long enough, you're gonna kill someone. What other sport has that? Where you can actually replicate live situations like that over and over again. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like you're saying it's complete, because if you had a street altercation,
even the meaning behind Jiu Jitsu,
yeah,
like for those who don't know, it means the gentle art.
Yeah.
Because you, as a person, as an individual, get to choose how much pressure, how much force you apply, and that can be applied to. This is the same concept every sport teaches: is discipline, hard work, dedication. Taking that away from the sport and putting it and applying it to your lives. And this is the concept that we are trying to also create in the GrappleHub. So from Brawlers boxing, alhamdulillah, we moved away, and during the lockdown, this was a grey area, because not many people were allowed to train. There was some time we were training, so they allowed for you to train with one person.
It was ridiculous, bro. The rules kept on changing as well.
Changing, so
or train with a mask on, but you're doing like close. It was all weird. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So what happened was, a few of us were training and stuff like that, and 6 months we just started rolling, and then eventually we're like, hey man, we need someone to teach us. So we got in touch. Shah at that time used to go to Fight Zone, so he messaged Bradley. He said, would you be interested in doing a seminar for us? Bradley Hill, yeah. So he messaged and said, would you be interested in doing a seminar for us? He's like, sure. Even Fight Zone was closing and stuff like that, and people were losing jobs, and there was no work because of the lockdown. So he's like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. We arrange it. So we did that. Eventually, we sort of like got him in for 1 day and 2 days and 3 days, and we sort of liked his style. It's amazing, and we was learning, because it's a small group, and it's putting a lot of attention and focus to us, and we're all becoming really good. And we said, like, okay, would you be interested in taking this club over? He'd be like, sure, let's do it.
You seemed like the most laid back guy,
chill
bro.
That guy, him and basically him.
Yeah, sure, bro. Let's do it, bro.
Tim Chill, man. That's what his name is,
Is it?
Him and Sam, Team Chill. They call themselves Team Chill. Yeah.
Oh, Team Chill.
Yeah, they're proper chill. That guy, man. Lovely coach, amazing person, and his knowledge. Look, anyone, everyone can be good at a sport. But it takes an amazing person to be good at your sport and at the same time be an excellent coach.
Yeah, 100%.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Because not all athletes are coaches. Do you see? And not all coaches are athletes.
100%.
So he does both amazing. So we really resonated with him. He's had more of a competition element to it, which some of the guys wanted to do. So we basically formed Royal Jiu Jitsu at the time, which was Bradley's club. He said, for the time being, get that going. I applied for Townlets Council, and it doesn't happen overnight, brother Muhammad. Yeah, imagine the pages upon the pages I had to write proposal.
For what? Sorry.
To try and explain to the charity of what good this is going to do to the community.
Oh, right.
Do you see? Why should we?
So just talk a little bit about where you're situated as well.
Okay, so the GrappleHub.
And like the situation you got there, and
so the GrappleHub,
if you're happy to share that.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's fine. The GrappleHub is based at the Muslim Charity Community Hub.
And where is that?
That's in Hessel Street, Commercial Road.
Well, Zach, bring it up, bro.
Okay, here.
Just on the corner, bro. That's it. There you go. No, come back. There you go, and it's that. After that, there you go. There. So upstairs.
Oh, okay, you're up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now you see what we've done. Yeah. This is the
So
Grapple
you
Hub.
training in there, yeah?
Hey. So basically, below that
Yeah.
is gonna be a bike shop and a coffee shop.
No way.
Yeah. So you can fix your bikes at
Oh, that's sick.
community rates, and then we have some computers for people to come and do some work and stuff like that. So and downstairs is the
You know the red brick part? Is that where the offices are and stuff?
office is downstairs in the basement.
Okay.
And next door you have Imam Jazari.
Is that a masjid, yeah?
No, Imam Jazari is a
That's the
Quran.
institute.
So the building belongs basically the subletting from Muslim charity.
Okay.
So alhamdulillah, and just the background for people who don't know, yeah. The Grapple Hub upstairs used to be a drugs cafe.
What do you mean a drugs cafe?
Where people come and smoke cannabis.
What, legally?
No,
Obviously
illegally.
Obviously not.
The way you mentioned drugs cafe, bro.
Yeah. There's a big dilemma, big problem of drugs cafe in Tamnets.
No way, Johnson, more, bro.
Yeah. So it used to be a drugs cafe, and downstairs where the Muslim charity hub is, that
So
used
did
to
you know that it was a drugs cafe?
100%. When we moved in 2018 to Muslim charity community hub, downstairs was a drugs factory.
Did they leave anything behind, bro?
So basically, when the police came to
Evict them.
they burnt it down. So when we took it over, it was all burnt down. That's why we got like a better rate.
Okay.
And then while we was there, we would finish 6 o'clock, and the drugs cafe would start 6:30, 7 o'clock till late in the night. So what we would do, we would count like basically good rebelling evil innit?
Yeah.
So we would like play Quran and play Nasheed, and we had that.
So who was
positive-
running it?
These are guys in the community, innit?
Bengali guys, yeah?
Yeah, not to mention no names.
Obviously,
innit?
yeah.
Yeah. So these are.
Is Hessel Street off Brick Lane, bro? Or am I buzzing, bro?
No, it's off Commercial Road. So forget that. That was a drugs cafe. Next door was a drugs cafe. The whole row, apart from few shops, there were about 5-6 drugs cafe there.
Like Amsterdam, basically, bro.
Yeah, literally.
Wow, that's mad,
and
bro.
so that used to be called Cali Cafe, which means the drugs were coming from California, the cannabis, special cannabis, and they were selling these drugs at exquisite prices.
Did you ever go in? Obviously not to blaze it up or
obviously you
whatever.
can even thingy. There was another one which got recently raided. The last one left, alhamdulillah. It got raided, but there's still some left in Commercial Road. So all of this,
How did they get away with it, bruv?
you know what? How they get away with it? Because when the police come, they have a stash here or do whatever on it.
No, but bruv, Habibi, I'm sorry, but that's the baitest thing I've ever heard in my life, bro.
I
You
know.
know how bait that is?
I know.
Having a cafe that sells just
I know,
barefaced
but
like that.
police can't come and do it. Like it doesn't work like that. It takes months and months of thingy.
What do you mean? Just go in there, look at the weed.
It doesn't work
Send
like that.
undercover.
It doesn't work like that, trust me. These guys going for months and months. They would get, raided, and they would be back up again in business in the next couple of days. It takes...
That's crazy to me, bruv.
So, look where it came from. It came from a drugs cafe to the Grapple Hub.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, man, that's good.
Okay?
Different type of drug. But it's
Yeah.
Jiu Jitsu, innit?
the right type of
the right
drugs,
type, yeah, the right type of drugs, bro. Alhamdulillah, that's good, bro. So, talk me through because I'm quite obviously we run Legion as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So, talk me through the whole buying the mats and stuff because that's quite interesting to me. So, how did you decide on the design and all that stuff? And
So
did you have a shower in there? Was it just basic, just mat and keep it moving, bro?
no,
Come and train?
so during the lockdown we had
Yeah.
like basic mats, tatami mats
Yeah.
downstairs, and from that we upgraded to zebra mats,
Cheeseburger, bro.
which was I'm not gonna mention his name here.
Yeah,
I'll mention the company.
yeah.
Hamlet's. Hamlet's, I think, is the largest company.
Drugs cafe in.
Hamlet's is the largest company that deals with properties.
Okay, right,
So
right. I've heard of them actually.
Yeah, they're quite big.
Okay,
So it's a very dear brother of mine
Yeah.
who have the pleasure of teaching his kids.
right.
So they're my students. He told me once, Abdul Hannan, if you want to do anything, in life, you want to do anything, come to me for help. You
Yeah.
know. So I took that. I said, look, bro.
I'm cashing that check.
Yeah, I need some help, innit? He said, yeah. What do you need? I said, I need some mats. He said, are you going to be happy? I said, yeah. He said, how much is it going to be? I said, it's going to be 4,500. He said, consider it done.
For that space.
Yeah. And then, do you get what I mean?
Yeah, but it looks good, mashallah,
Yeah.
man. It's look fresh in there, man. So do you
Yeah.
have, bro? Have you got pictures of the inside?
Yeah.
Yeah, bring up the.
If you're going to go on Instagram, you can check here or.
Yeah, go on Insta, bro.
Yeah.
So have you got like showers and?
We've got 2 showers.
Mashallah.
Yeah. And then the plan is in 2 years or 1.5 years is
Inshallah.
to expand, inshallah.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Go on, scroll down. Yeah, look at that, bro. That looks nice, mashallah, bro.
We're in for a modern look.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
You can see the work.
Okay, so what's the mat space like? How big's the mat space?
In terms of I
Square
think
foot or
I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it is 14 by 12. I think.
14 foot?
Yeah, 14 by 12.
Okay.
Or,
mashallah,
or
that's
12 by
decent.
10.
How
something
many
like that.
guys can you get on the mat? Like?
About 28.
Okay, that's not bad, mashallah.
Yeah.
Good.
And it's got a lovely high ceiling, windows,
You got windows.
bright.
Does it get a bit fresh in there when all the brothers are like rolling?
Surprisingly it's quite hot because of the summer has been really hot.
Do you've got AC in there?
I've got fans and stuff like that. But
Hey, Hamlet, sort them out with some AC, bro. Come on, brother, man.
yeah, I'll be coming back for that's the shit.
Exactly, bro. Get some AC in there, man. Come on.
Yeah, so alhamdulillah, we started, it was launched June 11th.
Alhamdulillah.
So it's just been 2 months. I would say we have got now 70 plus members.
MashaAllah, that's good, bro.
Yeah. Club is growing, alhamdulillah, in size and capacity, which is forcing me to add more and more classes.
Good.
I want to expand. I want to focus on women-only classes. I haven't started the children classes because I'm I'm big on child protection, safeguarding policy, all of that. I've got to make sure the coaches are trained on that before I started working with.
Even things like curriculum and making sure that,
especially like being a youth worker and stuff like that in the community, I've got to make sure we don't want to just do it just to make money. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So the GrappleHub is a community interest club.
Did you set it up as that, or is it a limited company?
It hasn't been set up as a community interest club. It's a limited company with community interest values.
Right.
So it's a community interest club, as in it works for the betterment of the community.
Yeah.
What happens is how our process and systems work is after deduction of cost, the rest of the money gets reinvested back into our charitable causes, and in return it benefits also our charitable causes, which is a win-win situation because
is that a deal you got with Muslim charity as well?
Yeah, because this is basically it's an umbrella. Muslim charity has an umbrella organization called Team MC, which means Team Muslim Charity. Under Team Muslim Charity, Team MC, we have a cycling club which has 300 members, which came out from London to Makkah.
Right, so we're definitely going to chat about that, bro, because I want to...
Yeah.
You actually cycled from London to Mecca.
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting to me. This
Okay.
guy won't shut up about cycling, this guy, bro.
Yeah, we'll talk about
But
that.
he's itching for it to come out, bro.
Go ahead. After London to Makkah, 2017, the cycle group came out, 2018, which is called Team MCCC, which is head speared by Rashid Ali, who basically came up with the idea of London to Makkah. We have now over, say, 300 members in London, St Albans, across basically some of the counties. Anyways, again, it's a part of an umbrella organisation, or the GrappleHub is part of Team MC. And that's how we operate. What was I saying?
So,
the GrappleHub, innit?
yeah, the GrappleHub itself,
Yeah.
it's almost like a vehicle to kind of fund Muslim charity, right? I say fund, but more kind of fund the activities of Muslim charity.
So
right?
basically, our vision, one of our vision is obviously to improve the dynamics. As a charity, look, there's a famous quote that says, charity begins at home, but
Yes.
it doesn't end there.
Yeah.
We're doing international projects. We're doing amazing jobs. What about our local community? So this is our social baccalaureate of giving back to the community. This is our aspect of giving back. Hence why, alhamdulillah, we try and keep the prices relatively low, and we try and cover the cost. And at the same time, have that feel-good factor for our participants, that they can partake in a sport and then at the same time help
Yeah.
charitable causes around the world and locally. So this is our concept. The reason why we called it the GrappleHub is because we want it to have a community feel to it. We want it to be a place where, like I said, young people can have a place to express and engage, and where people come together without it being too mainstream. Do you understand? We want it to be professional, yes, yeah, but at the same time we want it to have a community feel to it. That's why we came up with the name.
So why?
The
So
Grapple
this
Hub.
is important, yeah.
Yeah.
When you say, because obviously there's different types of clubs out there. Yeah? You got clubs that are kind of basically only architects and accountants can afford to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the honest
Jiu-Jitsu,
truth, bro.
I don't understand why
It's
Jiu-Jitsu
a
is such
middle
an
class
expensive
sport, bro. But
Yeah.
even the Gracies, bro, like, like the whole thing about Carlson. Was it? There's two teams in Brazil. You had the Gracies, and who's the other one? I think GFT. Whoever the Rodolfo. So they used to, because some of them would teach the guys from the favela and stuff like that, and then you had the other guys. Again, don't shoot me on this because I don't know the exactly but I know there was because I know the Gracies, they would predominantly teach middle class people, even when they went to America, bro, and it was quite a exclusive sport, isn't it?
It's a very expensive sport.
Yeah. Sport
However,
is expensive in general, bro.
No, but
yeah, but
boxing, they say, don't take it as a bad connotation. They say it's a poor man's sport.
Yeah, it is.
Boxing, you get what I mean? We was boxing £1, and at that time we still felt the pinch.
Yeah.
Do you see?
What
Now
was it in the 1920s, bro? £1, yeah.
£1 he was, yeah, he was £1, and that's reduced.
Yeah.
Do you see? Trying to make it. Now imagine how is a.
Because you look at, I know some clubs charge £150 a month, bro, and then you got the geese, then you got the comp fees,
Yeah,
which some of them are like 80 quid, bro.
it's expensive.
Yes, yeah. So
It's
it
expensive.
racks up, man. And if you've got,
Especially families that are struggling.
Yeah.
How do they?
they're just not gonna do it.
They're not going to give this up.
Yeah.
They're not going to have the children. Are not going to have the experience. So now, what do we do? What do we do as an organization, as a community? Do we turn that kid away, or we give him the opportunity? You see, we never ever turn the kid away.
I think there's one thing that Dr. Amir used to tell me, like, he goes, herd immunity. So what he means by that is, those of you that can pay should subsidize
Yeah,
those who can't.
yeah.
And then those who can't, once they get into a position where they
should.
can,
Yeah, they should. Then.
and it should be like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Does that make sense?
That's
You
the
should look
same-
after, yeah.
That's our same mentality, exactly like that. Alhamdulillah, and because of that, I would say that model, yeah. Because I tried it once with Brawlers boxing. Alhamdulillah, it worked. It's just that the finance wasn't there.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, I've learnt a lot from that, from Brawlers boxing, and I've took that energy and I've took it to Muslim charity, and I said, look, either you give me the space and do it, or I'm gonna do it myself.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm gonna do it. And they're like.
So you're kind of like leading the, so it's opened up as a different company, but it's under so I'm guessing the directors are Muslim charity, basically.
Yes.
Right.
So the club doesn't belong to me.
Right. So
Instead
you're a
of-
caretaker almost. You kind of like, as
Sure,
part of Muslim
sure.
charity, as an employee.
Though it's my idea,
Yeah.
though it's my passion, I've taken it over and handed it over to Muslim charity.
SubhanAllah, that's,
Do you get what I mean? I could
Yeah.
have taken and made it my own entity, my own business.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have struggled with the money.
yeah.
But look, like I said, I have friends, I have a large network who would have maybe supported H.
Yeah.
Do you see? They would support H to start this up. But again, it's either I do this or I do my work.
Yeah,
You see?
100%.
I said, why can't I not do my work and at the same time do this?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Do you see? So I
Mashallah,
combined both
bro.
together, and Muslim charity, alhamdulillah, very supportive. They gave me the opportunity to do that, and
Alhamdulillah, that's good,
Yeah,
man. So
so-
everyone out there, if you're in Tower Hamlets, in the surrounding areas, because I know there's a lot of estates around there. There's a lot of residential areas around Commercial Street, and you know, go like support this club, man. Go there and so once you get your kids class, bruv, I'm sure your kids classes are gonna be ram, bruv.
Inshallah,
100%, inshallah. So, and pay your friggin' gym fees on time, man. You gotta keep the lights on, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying?
Electricity bills are going now.
Yeah, man. Pay your gym fees on time, bruv. And have 2 or 3 less, 2-3 less chicken meals, and just give the guy, give them. Because what a lot of people don't understand is running a gym. You don't do it for the money, bruv. Like, as if you did, you'd open up something else, man. Because it's not like something that is primarily because of the passion.
100%.
And everyone's gym membership goes towards keeping everyone
happy.
Keeping the place, keeping the place open. So when know that when you're paying that thing monthly, you know that it allows us to keep the place open, bro.
100%.
Yeah.
That's
So
humble beginnings, you know that. I'm
100%.
sure you guys are aware of that. Legion Grappling, humble beginnings. You see what I mean?
100%.
You guys all level up together as a
but we
community.
were training. There was no heating, bro. Like, remember the mat was shredded to pieces, bro. There was a point where the mat literally had cancer, bro.
Likewise.
It was like literally every day I'd go in, there's a new rip in it, bro. Do you know what I'm saying, bro?
Likewise, man. We came from the basement.
Yeah.
You see, from the basement to where it's really cold to, you know, this.
Brothers training in socks, bro. Their toes coming out of this, bro. doing grips when it's freezing, mid-December, bro. You're trying to do tiger grip on the sleeve. Yeah, it's not happening, bro. So alhamdulillah.
You know what? It's shukr Allah, man.
And shout out to all the angels, bro. And you know what? I don't think I've said this on this podcast.
100%. Yeah.
And you guys know who you are, bro.
Who work behind the scene and make the club, you know, what it is.
Those brothers that when we're on our knees, you came and you put your checkbook out.
Yeah.
And you helped us, bro. Because we couldn't be where we are. And I'm sure you're the same, bro. Without those brothers who's made money.
There are guys who make things happen, and there are other guys who help others make things happen.
This is it. So they might not be there shoulder to shoulder, and there's brothers in the gym who help. They mop the mats.
100%.
When we were refurbing, they were doing all the manual labor, so we didn't have to pay. Do you see what I'm saying? It was like, again, like there's blood, sweat, and tears on the walls, bro. Does that make sense? So shout out to everyone that you know keeps their clubs running, because it's important, especially in times now. There's going to be tough times coming ahead, and we will do our best. I know me and Amir all have weekly meetings trying to make sure, look, moving money around, trying to keep the place open, bro. And I'm sure you have the same issues. And so, like, yeah, support your local club. I know, like, energy prices are going up, food prices are going up, but
it's only going to make it more difficult. So
exactly. That's why it's important you stick together, man. The power of numbers.
100%. Power of unity.
100%, man. Which leads me to the very interesting thing. We'll end on this, Abdul Hannan. I'm not going to say it, because they keep gunning me out. So I could talk to you forever, bro. But because I say it to every guest, innit? But I can talk to you forever, bro. But we'll end on the Hajj ride.
Yeah.
Okay. That's lunacy, bro. And how long did it take?
So there was 2 rides at the same time.
Right.
There was a group called Hajj Ride, and there's another group called London to Makkah, which was me and my colleague Rashid Bhai.
Right.
So our one, London to Makkah, took 56 days, and we cycled through 13 countries.
Okay, what countries did you cycle through?
France.
Okay, so you go from
UK,
London to Dover.
We went to Dieppe. I think Dieppe or New Haven. Dieppe I think we went to.
So this is you raggle on a bike.
Yeah.
Did you have cars following you and stuff?
Yeah, we had a support.
Support.
Van.
Okay, right. So that's where all the food and stuff is.
There was 3 of us, so two people cycling,
right.
and then Shubo, he was a support vehicle.
Okay.
So France, Germany, Austria, Slovenia, Slovakia, I think Serbia, Croatia, Bosnia, Greece, Turkey, Egypt, Saudi Arabia.
Mad.
Yeah.
And why didn't you go through Algeria, bro? What's going on? Why'd you skip Algeria? Why you go straight to Egypt?
That's North
bro?
Africa.
Yeah, so is Egypt, bro. You guys are snakes, you know.
Yeah.
Huh? You go from Morocco, bro?
No. Yeah, so,
I'm guessing. Obviously, it's the shortest way in it, shortest route. Yeah.
So we actually took.
Bro, can I just ask you something? Chafing.
What's that?
Oh, so he didn't get it. Didn't your thighs go raw, bro?
No.
Did you get nipple problems as well? You know, none of that.
It's a very long story.
I'm just asking because it does happen, bruv.
No, I didn't get that.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
Basically, day 2, I had an accident in France, 13 miles before Paris.
Right.
Yeah, I came off my bike, tore every single ligament in my knee.
What?
Yes, on day 2. So I was out for 7 days in the hospital. Like, I went to the hospital. They said, don't cycle, go back. And the charity was going to, send me back home. I'm like, you ain't sending me home.
What, bruv? How'd you tear every single ligament in your knee?
So basically, I had an ACL full rupture.
But how, though?
So basically...
Did you have those clip-ons, bruv?
I didn't have a clip-ons.
Okay.
I was cycling fast. We knew there's 13 miles to Paris. So I was increasing the speed. So we call something that's called drafting.
Yeah, so you...
One behind another, yeah? So there was a pothole. So the other one couldn't shut out pothole. He went that way. The other one went that way, and I went through the middle. And it was a big pothole. And I think we was going at least more than 15 to 80 miles per hour. I was going at that speed.
So, still I don't understand how you ruptured your knee, bro.
So I went over the pothole.
Yeah.
I went flying across. Then my right leg came off the pedal, and he hit the back wheel.
Right.
So you're cycling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right leg come off, hit the back wheel.
Yeah.
Spun over.
Your leg spun over?
No, so basically...
the bike spun
over, and I landed the thing in it.
And your leg was stuck in the wheel?
That hit the wheel in it. So that's where the thingy tear happened.
So how did it tear? Did it go... So imagine this is your knee, yeah?
Yeah.
And this is your foot.
So it basically teared, but... So look, this is your ACL.
Yeah.
This is like a tear, partial tear, severe tear, full rupture. So all the ligaments that's holding the back of your knee, that's called the full rupture.
Oh, it's the back of the knee?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you see?
Was it painful, bro?
Yeah, it was. But at that time...
You don't feel it, innit?
Adrenaline was so high, I didn't feel it. So I carried on cycling. I thought, you know what?
You carried on cycling?
Yeah. I carried on cycling. I thought, you know what? Adrenaline was high. I didn't feel nothing. I'm like, no, yeah, I'm alright. I'm okay. Dust it off. Boom. Carry on cycling. I cycle a few miles. I feel it.
What did you feel, bro?
I feel pain in my knee.
Like what kind of pain, bro?
Sharp pain. I had to grit. Yeah, I had to grit hard. And I said, I ain't giving up. 13 miles left. We're going to get there. I get there. I feel sad and stuff like that. I didn't know I thought something's wrong, but I didn't know how bad it was. I come to the hotel. Boom. Yeah. 4 times the size of my knee. Anyways, cut the long story short, there's a documentary on it, guys. Whoever wants.
Okay, sick.
Yeah, there's 2 documentaries. One done by Islam Channel and one done by one by us and one picture that. So there's a couple of documentaries on YouTube. London to Makkah. You find it.
Send us the links.
Anyways, cut the long story short. I was going to tell you the story of the chasing by wild dogs as well. I got chased by wild dogs.
Before the rupture or?
Nah, after. Anyways, I rested for 7 days.
Yeah.
On the 8th day, I was back on the bike. So I went to the hospital the 3rd day. They said, you can't cycle. The charity was like, you're going home. I said, you're not sending me home. I just took my time off work and just got married and I've left my house. I want to do Hajj. I don't care if I go in a wheelchair. I don't care sitting on a van. I'm going to do Hajj.
Yeah, because I forgot you got to actually do Hajj as well, bro.
That was my spiritual journey. Look, and it was the mercy of Allah, man. Allah called me, man.
Yes, sir.
You get me? And Allah took me, man. It was my time.
So you must have wrapped up your knee hard, bro.
I wrapped up my knee and basically it would be painful for starting up and then eventually the pain would go down. And then every night I would be in pain, but I continued to cycle. And alhamdulillah, we did it. We did Hajj, and then we was awarded a kiswa, cloth of the Kaaba, by the Saudi Hajj Ministry. And then we did a Hajj, alhamdulillah, and then, yeah. So we went through 13 countries, 5,000 kilometers, which is approx 3,000 miles. We did the furthest and longest distance available on land, meaning we covered from one end to another end, the most distance covered. I approximately cycled 2,000 miles because of my injury.
You did some of them in a van, basically.
Yeah, I was sitting out for 7 days. Yeah. And then and another day, if you see the documentary, I nearly got run over by another car I think it was Slovenia or somewhere like that. Someone tried to run me over.
What, on purpose?
Yeah, purposefully. He tried to
Why?
run me, because he's
racism.
Racism, trying to scare me. And there's other stories, got chased by wild dogs.
Where?
Bosnia, or Bulgaria, one of the country. got chased by wild dogs on 6 occasions.
6?
Yeah.
Man counted it, bro.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah, and we didn't know about that. So you need to have a whistle thingy. Because the mountain dogs,
Yeah.
the mountain dogs, they're wild. So there's like a whistle that we can't hear, but they can hear.
Oh, yeah, dog whistle, yeah.
So it avoids them from coming in it. And bro, we're cycling, you can see them coming down from the mountain. Woof, woof, woof. And
What kind of dogs were they?
wild dogs.
Like what kind of like?
I don't know, I just, all I know
You
is
don't care, bro.
I was
Is
running.
it like German Shepherd type looking dogs, or they're like
I can, yeah, they're just German Shepherd, yeah, they're like
that kind look like kind of like wolves almost?
Yeah. And
That's nuts, bro.
Yeah.
What was Egypt like? Cycling through Egypt?
Funny enough, yeah, wallahi, Egypt was the best.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
I loved it. The roads were flat, the food was good, the people was nice. It's the most scenic for me.
MashaAllah.
Turkey, Egypt was the most.
Because Muslim countries. It's the only 2 Muslim countries you went through, right?
We went for Bosnia.
Oh, Bosnia. Oh, yeah. Bosnia's
Yeah.
beautiful, man. I
Yeah,
heard.
Bosnia is very nice as well.
It's a wicked
some countries I
opportunity.
never thought that I'm going to go through. We went through them like
Like
Serbia,
what?
Serbia,
Yeah, Serbia.
Slovenia, Bulgaria. I never thought I was going to go. But
Did you see many Muslims in those countries? Very.
the further is the east,
Yeah.
the further east we was going, the more Muslim culture.
Like
that-
Bulgaria, I know. Like on there's obviously
Yeah.
there's Muslims near Turkey, in it that side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So yeah, and at the end of it,
What was Hajj doing on a?
Hajj was nice. So this Hajj was sponsored by Dome Tours. They sponsored our
Who?
Hajj.
Sorry.
Dome Tours.
Dome tours. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to
mashallah.
Dome Tours and all the other guys who helped facilitate that.
MashaAllah.
And they sponsored that.
What we could have done a whole podcast on that alone, bruv. The
Yeah.
whole Hajj. Maybe we come back and actually go into
Inshallah.
detail.
Yeah,
Because obviously we've gone on for quite a bit.
yeah. So
We drank about
Jazakallah.
16 liters of tea, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? But just quick thing, did you get your knee operated on after
Yeah.
when you come back?
After I came back, yeah, they said it's a full rupture. I had a surgery.
How was the surgery?
Surgery. I was out. I was out for a long time. They said 9 months, but I was out for 6 months because I'm very hyperactive. I had to
Mashallah.
basically.
How's your knee now?
It's not fully 100%.
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
It is what it is, man. You know, Allah made the means. Allah made it.
You did it, bro. On one leg.
You know, it's all qadr of Allah, man. Through sheer mercy of Allah. I've never cycled. You know, I was never a cyclist.
Yeah.
3 months before, we decided. Like I met Rashid by coincidence, and he was like saying, "I'm going to London to Makkah," and I'm like, "Are you going?" And like, yeah. I said, "Take me on."
And what kind of bike did you use?
I used a Carrera bike, which is not the best of road bikes. It's the cheapest road bike,
Right.
£300. So people are got £5,000, £6,000, £8,000 bikes. And,
What bike do you have, man? A what?
Canyon.
Is that a good bike, bro?
It's a decent bike.
Middle
yeah.
range.
Yeah, just on the middle. Hasn't made. No, I'm joking.
Do you still cycle?
Not
Not as much as.
Not as much. I've lost passion for it. But yes, after I come back, I've did a bike ride in Bangladesh from
Okay,
Cox's Bazar to Sylhet, and I did a bike ride. I done a part of a bike ride from here to Amsterdam.
MashaAllah.
So that's it. And inshallah, there's big plans in the pipeline to do a bike ride in Kenya, and something else which will be revealed in December. So
Okay.
I'll tell you. Not
But come
live.
back on, inshallah,
Yeah,
when you've set all that up, and then
yeah.
we can talk about
Anyways,
it, inshallah.
Jazakallah for.
Barakallah fik, bro. Man's ending the podcast, you know that?
Who did all the for?
I'm the honest, like, you know what? I'm done, bro. Yeah, we
We can all go home now.
I love that. Yeah, so basically our man's done, yeah? That is right. We've been here for like 2 hours and 50 minutes, blood.
Subhanallah.
So that's fine. It's beautiful. I'm glad, obviously, we've met. Alhamdulillah. And inshallah, we'll meet again and we'll cross paths again. And to everyone, we're probably going to cut some of it out, inshallah. But we're going to keep all the best bits, yeah? And so everyone, thank you very much for being with us on the journey. I think the latest count on our YouTube subscriber count is, I think, 980. It's about 20 left to 1K.
Inshallah, let's get that 1K.
Exactly, man. 20 people who've got no time to watch this podcast. So 20 unemployed people, yeah? who could just listen to a couple of East Londoners talk about whatever comes to their head. But yeah, I appreciate that. So thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.